Good morning. I always feel like a British lad when my bangs fall the way they do right now. I am getting ready to go for a run because I refuse to let another Monday go by where I don't prioritize my damn self and I only prioritize work because there's more to life. This place is a mess. Look at everything behind me. Actually, don't. I'm just trying to find sunscreen. And that's it. Don't tell my sister, but I'm borrowing her like really nice sunscreen because it's really nice. It's kind of that daily struggle between like, do I actually put sunscreen on my chin or not because I wear a mask? I guess I decided that I will. Okay. Cool. Let's go run. Hello? That sounds like a spaceship, dude. Oh yeah. Feels so good. Put myself first. So fucking good. My sister told me that I'm dressed like Danny from Bly Manor, and now I just can't unsee it. Yep. At least I'm cozy. Today, we are talking about end of the year burnout because it is so fucking real, and it has been such a hard year, and the fact that we still have to work is like, you know what I mean? It's like, come on, it's the holidays. Can we just all not work from Thanksgiving until New Year's? Because I think we all just need a break. Everything is just like, it feels like we're in this like very stressed bubble that's kind of like growing and growing and growing, and it could just pop at any second. Either that, you know, we're all in this bubble, or this is literally how I feel right now at the moment. If you can relate, let me know. Otherwise, cool, I'm alone, that's fine. I don't think I am, but cool. I worked from home even before the pandemic, and creating work-life boundaries were really, really hard already. But then I feel like once the pandemic hit, everyone was like, great, so we could just work round the clock, right? And I'm like, no, gotta protect my time and my mental health and my, you know, just overall well-being, so that can't happen. Anyway, what I'm trying to get at are some tips that I would like to share, especially towards the end of the year, to just help kind of create some of these boundaries and just prevent as much burnout as possible. Hopefully these can help you. They help me. I've integrated these into my daily life, and maybe you can too. My first tip is to time block everything. Literally everything, from when you wake up until you go to bed. Even your meals and your breaks, especially your meals and your breaks. Everything should be time blocked in your calendar, because then it's almost like you're making these appointments with yourself. Okay, it's kind of twofold. One, you're making these appointments with yourself. Two, by making these appointments with yourself, you're making these promises to yourself, thus adding more funds into your personal bank account, ka-ching, making you feel good as well. And so it's not just like work related, it's like wake up, cup of coffee, read the paper, crossword puzzle, check your email if that's something you like to do in the morning, etc., etc., etc. Get your workout in, then you start work for the day, etc., etc., etc. And it's really, really helpful for me to do that. Someone who is a people pleaser, and let's say I have something on my calendar and I'm still working on something and it's creeping up and I get that little notification that it's about to happen, then it helps me kind of restructure how I look at that calendar invite or calendar time block appointment in my actual schedule and in my mind. And I'm like, hang on, let me pivot and prioritize whatever's next here. I'm very visual, and then I also don't like to let people down, including myself. And I feel like this is a great way for me to not do that. My second tip is to break up your workday with things that make you happy and energize you. And to me, that includes breaking right in the middle of the afternoon to go on a walk or get my workout in. I also schedule a walk at the very end of my workday, and that's something that I can look forward to, and it's also a time in my calendar in which I can be like, okay, this is when I want to get everything done by, because this walk basically shows me that my workday is almost over. And I also encourage you to break for lunch and have that in there. If you're anything like me, like I can get really tunnel vision whatever I'm doing, and I just lose track of time, and that includes not eating anything, and that gets really heightened when I have anxiety, which is like every day of my life. And so it's really important for me to have this on my calendar that says, time to eat a meal, Emma. Get some energy, please. So doing things like time blocking those into your schedule are really, really important, because you also just, girl, you can't always be available, and it cannot be the norm that you are. Like, girl, boss it up. You are available and you are on the clock when you are available and you're on the clock. You do not have to be answering emails when you're eating lunch, okay? Balance. I'm still learning that. It gives me the heebie-jeebies to even think about doing it, but I will do it. And I do it and I'm like, this feels weird, but I know it's normal. So moving on. My next tip is to get some sun early in the day. Seasonal depression is so real, and I like to take my coffee outside or go on a walk first thing in the morning. Just get some sun, some vitamin D, and it also helps with your circadian rhythm, so it actually helps you sleep better as well, which is really cool because I'm not sleeping well at all. It just feels nice to like get away from a screen and get outside. Like, get me away from my computer. Are we starting to learn where my anxiety is coming from? It's my work-life balance and inability to put myself first. Great. Which is actually such a great segue into this next tip, which is do something for yourself first before you do something for someone else. I like to work out in the morning before I start anything, any audition sites or self-tapes or checking any emails. I want to do something for me. My last tip is, if you have the ability, if you have the vacation days left, take a few days off. If you can, just take a few days off, girl. Like, you've been working so much and so hard, and a few days isn't gonna hurt anyone. Plus, what is gonna happen between now and New Year's? Those are my tips. I'm really wanting to be more intentional with my time, especially in 2021. I feel like that was a goal going into 2020, and then the pandemic hit and I lost all perception of time. And something that I just want to do better at is being really intentional with like the space that I fill and the conversations that I'm having and the things that I'm consuming and the meals and workouts. Like, I want to be more intentional. My time is valuable. I'm a valuable human and I take up a lot of valuable space. And what I do with that space and what I do with myself and my brain, I want to do it like full force, like not half-assed. And even if I do half-ass some things, that's fine. If I decided, it's okay. These mental gymnastics I'm doing right now, this is kind of like me in a nutshell, is this entire conversation. So it's just rough, you know? Like, you're not alone too if you are experiencing lots of anxiety about putting yourself first. I'm there every day. So I wanna change that. And I'm really glad that I was able to this morning. Now I'm gonna go and do something else. I don't know, but I'm gonna do something for me. Hopefully you found those tips helpful, and if you have any that you want to leave in the comments, please do. Like, anything that you do to prevent burnout, I would love to learn, because I'm all about like, ooh, what do other people do to put themselves first? Because that's something I really struggle with, and knowing that other people do it too helps it feel more normal, which it is. It is normal, and I've talked to my therapist about this. Like, it is normal to have boundaries, and I'm learning that now. So anything that you have, leave them in the comments. Cool. glad we're on the same page here. I'm gonna go.